Welcome back, everyone, to Tales by the Fire. This week we have another story installment. We will continue The Champion's Quiet and explore Chapter 6. Please sit back and relax. If you enjoy the tale, please hit the like and the subscribe buttons. Feel free to ring the bell to inform you of new content and express your thoughts by leaving a comment below. As always, your presence is welcome and appreciated. Chapter 6. Thurston had walked for hours, alone with the rhythmic crunch of boots to ground and the soft creak of leather straps to accompany him. The road was little more than a thin, worn track threading through the edges of the forest. Sunlight filtered through the trees in long, golden shafts that grew fainter with each passing hour. He did not know where the path led, only that it moved forward, and that he felt drawn in the direction he was traveling. As the sky began to bleed orange behind the treetops, Thurston caught scent of smoke. Not wild smoke, but firewood. Controlled, contained. There was a bend in the road, and beyond it, nestled between the trees as if waiting, a small clearing and a fire crackling. And beside that fire sat Hovner. The elf looked almost sculpted into the scene, legs stretched out, cloak drawn over his shoulders like a second skin, and the same amused glint in his eye that suggested he'd been expecting Thurston for quite some time. "You travel loudly, Thurston," Hovner said, without looking up. "Every creature in the forest heard you were coming." Thurston stopped a few paces from the fire. "You followed me." "Oh, I do many things. Following is rarely one of them." Hovner motioned to a log across the fire. "Not to make too fine a point, but I am here, and have been here, for many hours. You, on the other hand, have only just arrived. So, my confusing friend, who followed who?" "Sit. I've brought something worth sipping." Thurston lowered his pack and took the seat. The fire cracked sharply. Embers spiraled upward into the dusk, casting long shadows across the clearing. Hovner reached into a leather satchel and produced a slender bottle sealed with a wax crest. "You didn't get that from Wenna's bar," Thurston noted. "Oh, I have my own reserves." He poured the amber liquid into 2 wooden cups and slid one across to Thurston. "To the ache of new beginnings." Thurston drank. It was sharp, smoky, and surprisingly smooth. He was an IPA beer drinker, but he could get used to this. For a moment, there was silence. Just the fire, the forest, and the rising stars. "You may not have followed me," Thurston said, "but I don't believe our paths crossing here is a coincidence." "It wasn't," Hovner replied. "Truth be told, I was fairly certain you would come this way, so I made myself comfortable and I waited." "Why?" Thurston asked. "Because I need clarity." "I don't think drinking and clarity go together." "They do for me. And besides, drinking dulls the headache you give me." "I'm a headache. I barely know you." "You are a mystery, a problem, and yes, a headache." "I can't say I have ever been described that way." You, sir, are not from this world, Hovner said flatly. You have magic, old magic that belongs here. Your weapon, too, is old, magical, and of this world. But you are not. How do you know these things? Thurston asked. Excellent question. Well, the way you speak, the way you move, it's beyond foreign. And I've also done some research. The villagers claim that until very recently, they couldn't understand you. Your tongue was unlike any ever heard. But visitors from other realms are not unheard of, and foreign magic has often found its way here also. Some even believe the old king wielded an artifact from another realm that granted him unnatural power and unnatural long life. But, my problematic friend, you are a puzzle. Your magic is of this world, and that I do not understand at all. Your magic is very old. Fey old. Your stick there with the pointy ends is not as old as the Fey, but it is old. If you were a magic user of sorts from another realm, I could better understand. You would be a strange man with strange magic from a strange place. Not common, but not unheard of. But to have magic of this world, and old magic, no less, and at the same time be a person from another realm, well, that is upsetting on so many levels and makes no sense at all. Busted. You are not wrong. I am not from your world, Thurston said. Thurston decided to be conservative about the information he revealed to Hovner. I entered your world through an arch. I have no idea how it worked. Thurston felt that he could give a little information in order to rationalize his presence here. But based on Hovner's comments about ancient Fey magic, he felt it best to keep Vaylira out of the conversation. And your sharp stick with the pulsing magic vibe, how did you come to possess that? Hovner asked. Thurston thought for a moment and then decided to mix a little truth with a little deception. I found it in my world. Not exactly untrue. It seemed to call me. Again, some truth. It was near the arch, so I picked it up, and it has been my traveling companion ever since. There was much less truth in his last statement. He couldn't tell if Hovner bought his story, but the elf gave a shrug, a nod, and a Why do you care, Hovner? Thurston asked. Because I am an elf, and your existence is giving me a headache, Hovner blurted out. Thurston laughed. Sorry, Thurston said. You keep saying that. It's the truth, Hovner defended. You mean a literal headache? Hovner nodded. Oh, I thought it was like a metaphor, I thought it was your way of proclaiming that I was a pain in the ass, Thurston said. You are, and will likely remain one for quite some time. But yes, your existence is a literal pain in my head. Hovner paused to sip his drink. However, let me clarify a little with a cultural lesson from my world. Here in this realm, we elves are the stewards of the natural world. We come in many forms. Each elf keeps an area of the world in balance as they oversee and manage that area. With that, each also has a specific stewardship. Some of us look after, say, plants. An elf may have duties as specific as looking after trees, or even a specific species of tree. Some may look after animals, or again, a particular species of animal. Obviously, I am way oversimplifying, but I think you get my meaning. Thurston nodded. We sense the balance in things, and when the balance is uneven, we take steps to correct it. At least, that is what we're supposed to do. Let's say I live in a lovely glen. And I do, by the way. Let's say the trees are growing too thick and creating an unhealthy environment, choking out other needed vegetation and creating a potential fire hazard. Well, I might be obligated to thin out the tree populations. Perhaps the wartag population has grown a little thin. Well, I might take action to make sure there was less wartag hunting and more wartag breeding. What is a wartag? Thurston asked. It's not important, Hovner replied, obviously annoyed with the interruption. Hovner continued. Here's the rub. I am an elven steward of magic, but the very idea is ridiculous. I sense magic, old and new, foreign and domestic, and its balance in this world. But if there is some magical imbalance in the world, there is very little I can do to actually fix it. People like me are called seers. We are rare, and in my opinion, completely useless. But we see the magic in the world, and the imbalance, if there is one, is often mind-splittingly painful. Hence, the headache you give me. I'm sorry, Thurston said. Apology accepted. Hovner sat back and pulled out a pipe. He spent some time loading it, and eventually he lit it and began smoking. The burning tobacco was very pleasant, and Thurston found himself trying to inhale the second-hand smoke. I am from a noble family. I was born into wealth, not the kind that gathers dust in vaults, but the kind that roots itself into land and lineage. My family has owned half the eastern glades for generations. My mother is still revered. My father, well, less so. He paused, swirling his drink, and took another puff of his pipe. But none of that matters. Not really. Because from the moment I could walk, the world was too loud for me. It screamed at me. Magic is everywhere and in everything. And most things that stand on two legs, they try to manipulate it in one way or another. The constant changes keep magic forever out of balance and cause a lot of noise in my head. So I try to live a rather solitary life. I have a nice home, far from most, and am able to keep the chaos of magic to a dull background noise. Then you came along. Magic, Hovner said. It hums in the stones, trembles in the leaves, vibrates in the veins of certain creatures. For most, it's invisible. For me, it's loud noise. The positive side is that even foreign magic can come into balance in this world. It eventually becomes part of this world, and then I get to live in peace. You have brought magic that belongs here back here, so there should be no imbalance. But your presence and how you intermingle with the magic is wreaking havoc. There must be a reason, Thurston. Let me be plain. Why are you here, and how is it that you possess and embody magic from this world? I do not have a simple answer for you, and most of this I do not understand, Thurston answered. I followed someone important to me here, and I need to find that someone. That is all I can tell you. Lucky for you, Thurston, I am a patient and curious man. I should have just killed you and went back to my quiet life. Problem solved. But this world is in chaos at the moment, with more than one power void in play. I feel things are going to get real unpleasant soon. I think you may have something to do with how this next phase plays out. I don't know how, but I think it is worth exploring. So, good news, friend. You get to live for now. I am relieved, Thurston replied. I had no idea you were considering my death. Thurston had a strange feeling that Hovner could do exactly what he threatened. He needed to take this man seriously. Think nothing of it, Hovner replied, and then leaned back. Let's get some sleep. I am your new traveling companion. I'll try to keep you alive and moving forward. For now, anyway. Thanks. I think. Thurston's eyes rested on Hovner, unsettled, grateful, but wary.